Hi everyone, it's Ed from Runnable, and this is my race review of the PUMA FAST-R NITRO ELITE 3. Now I used this shoe in a very recent park run in Battersea Park. So in this video I'm going to tell you what I liked about this shoe during that race, what I didn't like so much about this shoe. I'm going to tell you whether I actually succeeded in breaking my park run 5k PB in this shoe. So stay tuned to watch the full video, but first watch some of the event footage of the park run, and at the end we'll critique and review this amazing shoe for you. So without further ado, see you later, watch the video, bye. How you doing?
It's early, sleep would have been handy. But we're focused.
Well, the camera's not focused there, is it? Look at this light. So, what's the thoughts today, Jack?
Oh, hello.
We're going to smash it, And what about Dad? Yeah,
TV
as well. So, I think today, we said it, didn't we? Hurt Lock is going to be the theme. So, I don't want anyone finishing this race today happy. Alright, there's going to be no smiles. I want to see one of us throwing up.
Well,
yeah. No smiles today, right?
One of us is vomiting. Good.
One of us is.
That's what we want.
One of us, maybe two of us, throwing up. Right. We're going to do it though.
Right.
Today's PB day. Richie, PB day.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's not bottle this, guys. Right. Let's have it.
Hold it.
Yeah, I know. Because this is going to work. So Alex, this is the quickest way, sure. Yeah, it's good. Right.
Yeah, I've gone that way before. But anyway, it's quite a nice way.
You can get I've never been so good.
Got plenty of time anyway.
Yeah, look at the time as well. Because you went and did it full time, so I just thought, oh, you then go in.
Yeah, they're here.
Is that?
Yeah, this is it.
Yeah.
It's like a mecca for running it.
Yeah.
The amount of runners. I think the last really since they've done it up really.
Well, it's become as running's become more popular.
Yeah, I know.
With the younger generation, this has become their kind of venue, hasn't it?
Like when I did the 10k race on Sunday once, it was like big groups of people.
Yeah.
Almost like 50 people like running.
Which are perfect for these kind of runs. I think so. You end over there somewhere, don't you? Where them cones are. That's.
I think it starts back this way.
Yeah. It's definitely not there, is it?
No, that's the finish.
Yeah. Why are we going this way?
You just speak to him.
Yeah.
There was a parkrun person.
The first time is briefing. Anyone for the first time is briefing. Morning everyone, thank you for coming to Battersea Park. We're really lucky today alongside you in person as we've got Lynn who will be able to sign it for us. So please, very thankful for Go Boys have this. Is anyone brand new to Parkrun? Anyone? Woo! If you have any questions, do just come and ask me at the end. I'm happy to answer anything you've got. Course description today. We do have trucks on here, so our funnel is running shorter. Our funnel typically does go a lot wider, so just be cautious when you're coming into the funnel. Please keep running, because otherwise we get backlogs at the end and this causes other people to not get their correct time. So we need you to run through the funnel. Our funnel is very long. It is only about an extra 100 meters. Please do keep running. Other hazards on the course are we do have cones out behind bollards. Please do not run into the cones. Behind them are bollards. You won't be able to run through them. It will very much so hurt. Please stick to the left. Battersea Parkrun is a massive parkrun. We typically have around 1,000 runners. That means we have people of all abilities and we welcome everyone coming. Please stick to the left so people can go around the other way. And it makes for a more inclusive parkrun. Please do equally in that sense respectful and mindful of other runners. Everyone here is for the same thing, so please just take that into consideration. Please do not leave the queue or the funnel at the end. You might be in the funnel for up to 10 minutes. That is because Battersea is such a big parkrun. Please do not leave the funnel. That really messes with the timekeeping and also means other people might not get the correct time. If you do not want to stay in the funnel, please do not cross the finish line. Please do not take your barcodes home with you. Every week we lose about 5. They are really expensive to replace, so please do keep them here. At the end there are little buckets. The buckets correspond to numbers. They're in groups of 100 going up to 1,500. Please put them in the corresponding bucket. As ever, parkrun is a run, it is not a race. Please do be considerate of that, especially in today's heat. It is incredibly hot. This is also a community event. If you see any other runners in distress, please do stop and help them. It is incredibly hot today. In the end, please do not loiter on the carriageway. One of our conditions with One World Council in order to be able to run this event is that runners do not loiter on the carriageway. The other one is please do not walk on the grass to head over to the parkrun. We have a set route where you walk along the road and up. There will be someone holding a sign guiding you there. At the start, please do not feel the need to go on the grass to overtake runners. We will lose our access to parkrun if this keeps continuing. Please join us at the end for a coffee in the park. There's a cafe just over there. We're very friendly. We'll be sat outside today. And as you can imagine, we have a lot of tokens to sort. So please do come down and help. If anyone is unsure about parkrun or their barcode, please do come and chat to me. More than happy to help. Otherwise, we'll walk down to the start line, which is just over there.
Good luck.
Let's have it.
Let's have it. Right, Ed from Runnable. We've just finished the Battersea Parkrun. How'd it go, Rich?
Yeah, it was a busy race. It was must have been about 1,200 people at least. Yeah, very busy at the start.
But the viewers want to know how you did.
Well, I got under 20, so I'm happy.
Yeah.
I didn't get a PB, but I was close. So I'm happy.
So 19 what, Rich?
1952-ish.
52.
Yeah,
Right. Really good time, mate. Yeah, well done. What thoughts of the actual run?
I thought it was pretty basic, pretty easy run really.
Yeah.
It's flat, there's no hills. You could really have a go. If you paced it right, you can definitely get a PB here.
Yeah.
Easy, yeah.
Yeah. Nihal?
Yeah, good day for me. Parkrun PB, 17:35.
Oh wow,
Used
fantastic.
The PUMA FAST-R threes.
Yeah.
Zooming on shoot.
How were they?
They're a bit of a treat. Yeah, just got into good rhythm, and I got very smooth. Didn't feel like I was ever pushing too hard. So yeah, really pleased. Good course, really flat. Plenty of runners. Yeah, good day out basically.
Some quick runners out there, weren't
Very
there?
quick runners, yeah.
Rich, what do you have on?
I had my Hoka Mac X2.
Twos, yeah. Right then, save the best to the last. Right,
Wow.
introduce yourself.
Wow. I'm Alex from TFL. I'm here just to help with transport planning.
Yeah.
They let me come along sometimes to
Right.
run as well.
Can I just say before he goes on, I don't want any complaints about public transport on Runnable, okay? That's not my problem. It's
Not the
his.
forum people.
Right, yeah. Okay, how'd it go?
All good, thank
Yeah.
you. I enjoyed it, and yeah, Parkrun PB.
Wow.
Love that.
Is it an
In,
actual PB?
It is an actual PB. I don't
Yeah.
know what count. Yeah, basically, yes. And only went under 18 2 weeks ago, so I'm
Right.
very chuffed with that.
And-
And Saucony, the ones you told me to get.
Speed,
These are
speed
right?
fives.
So the
Yeah.
nylon and not the carbon. I
Yeah.
think I'm happy with
And
that.
you
I
and
don't know what
you're
the
well
actual
happy with those, yeah?
I'm happy with those.
Yeah.
It felt good. First kilometre was painful overtaking. Once we hit our rhythm, lovely.
Yeah,
Lovely.
fantastic. And sorry, that was my thumb. I actually got a parkrun PB and a PB. Yeah.
Go Steve.
So 16:42, I think. I think 16:42. My previous PB was 16:43.
And Ed, what did you do differently today than your previous PB?
Well, there's faster runners around, right? So I think that helps. Previous PB, I was leading from the front, and it's very psychological in terms of like you need a lot of mental strength. This one, you just need to tag on to fast people and then go past them when you feel
What
right.
position were you?
13th, 13th overall. Normally there's about 1,000 people here, but I don't think there's quite as many today. Do you think?
There's more.
Stop the queue the whole length of the park.
Right, maybe. So if it is 1,000, 13th out of 1,000, I'm well happy.
It's 9:37 and there's still big queues.
Yeah. Nihal, you came 20 odd.
26th.
Yeah. Anything inside the first 30 is pretty rapid here. But anyway, yeah, very successful. The Puma, I should say what I had on, right? Same as Nihal. I had the Puma FAST-R NITRO ELITE 3s. I am now totally sold on these. I wasn't before, I am now. These are my favourite 5k shoes. Sorry Hoka, Cielo X1 2.0s, these are the kings now. But anyway, that's enough because these guys get fed up and we want to go for a coffee, and I'll see you soon. Bye bye. some key stats around the PUMA FAST-R NITRO ELITE 3. So in my UK size 10, now I had to get size 10 because that was the only size available that would fit me. I'm normally a 9, that meant I was a size higher than I normally am. You definitely do not need to go a size higher in this shoe. It means I've got loads of space after my toes, which actually isn't such a bad thing in this shoe because it keeps your foot nicely locked in the midfoot area because it's quite narrow. But even so, it's wasted space, and it means that I engage this tip a little bit less than perhaps I should do. So that's what I would say. Just go true to size in terms of sizing, and in terms of weight, it's super light at 196 grams in my UK size 10. That's incredibly light. It's up there then with the Meta Speeds. It's not quite as light as, say, something like the Street Fly 2, but it's pretty much one of the lightest racing shoes that you can get on the marketplace. In terms of drop, you've got a 40mm stack height in the heel. You've got an 8mm drop. So in theory, it's 32 in the forefoot. It doesn't feel like an 8mm drop to me. It feels far flatter, this shoe. I can only think that it's just the geometry of the shoe, which we'll talk about in a minute, that makes it feel that way. But if you're worried about the drop being too high, I wouldn't worry so much in this shoe. The transition from heel to forefoot is very smooth and quick in this shoe, so you needn't worry about that. Okay, let's talk a little bit around the shoe itself. So the upper, it's got this really lightweight mesh upper. It's translucent, you can see my fingers. This happens to be one of my favorite uppers of all time, actually. It's close to the Alpha Fly 3 in terms of how much I like it. The only downside that I have with this upper is the tongue. I think it's too short, it's too flimsy. You can see there, and it doesn't come up high enough. And this pillow here where you want to cinch your laces, again, does not come up high enough. So that's the only downside. The rest of it, I love the shape, keeps my foot nice and locked in here. As I said, I've got plenty of space up here because I had to go up an extra size. In the heel collar area, you've got ample padding around the collar and also in the heel, and you've got like a semi-rigid heel counter. It's probably more rigid than not, but still, it doesn't really affect my Achilles. It's nice and comfortable. And all in all, I would say, but to score this up, I'd give it a 4.5 out of 5 and just mark it down for the tongue, really. I'm probably being a bit harsh there. It's probably a 5 out of 5 upper, with it being so light and breathable and really nicely fit. It hugs your foot really well. Outsole, some issues here. You can see already this rubber is severely dinted everywhere, right? So it looks to me like there'll be some durability issues in this shoe. I'm not experiencing any degradation yet in the foam or problems with grip, but just to let you know that it does wear quite quickly. This, when you hit the stones or uneven pavement, it causes these dints, and the longer term effects in the foam, I'm not sure yet, but we'll see. And this exposed plate, if you run on anything with rocks around, you're going to hit that plate quite a lot. I've done it before, and it's the slight worry is, because it's quite a flexible plate, the slight worry is you could break that. If you, in terms of flexibility, look, you can see you can bend it quite well, this shoe. It's nothing like the Prime X Strung 3, which is super rigid. This is more flexible, and that's part of the magic of this shoe. So outsole, I would say the Puma grip's always a good grip, but because of these dints, potential durability issues, I'm going to give it a 4 out of 5. Would have got a 5 had this been holding up a bit better. Now, midsole, this Aliphatic TPU, this Nitro Elite midsole foam even, is where the magic happens in this shoe. It's absolutely superb, this foam. It feels a little bit firm when you first put it on, but you get used to it. It's one of these shoes, actually, as you start a run, it feels slightly firm, and then as you get into the run, you don't start, you you kind of don't feel it anymore. You feel it feels about the right density, this foam, for those runs. I've now run 3 races, a 5k, a 10k and a half marathon in this shoe. So I've got a really good idea about this midsole and this geometry. And in all of those races, this foam was absolutely superb. So in the 10k, which was in Hampton Court, sorry, I forgot for a minute, I ran that in kind of 35.50, so good time. It wasn't the best course for this shoe. There was a lot of grass and dirt tracks, but all in all, it performed very well. In the half marathon, it was a very, I was going to say very hot day. It wasn't actually that hot, the Hackney half marathon, but my legs were jaded from the actual London marathon, which was hot. So it wasn't necessarily my best performance, but I still managed a 1 hour 19 in this shoe. I remember distinctly that my feelings at the time were, it felt terrible at the start, but by the end it felt like my favorite shoe, right? So this foam, as you go further on in your races, gets better and better, and you cannot say that about many foams, right? And then for the 5k I've just done, and spoiler alert, I got my PB. If you haven't watched the race footage, that's your problem. I got my PB, parkrun PB and actual PB of 16:42. The closest to that was 1 second away, which is a Hoka Cielo X1 2.0, where I did 16:43. So this is now my quickest shoe over 5k. And this midsole, I have to say, was absolutely magical. I hit the ground about here. So those that don't know me, I'm Ed, I'm 5'9". I'm reasonably light, I guess. I'm 63, 64 kg. I'm a bounder, so I hit the ground reasonably hard when I land, and I land around about here in the forefoot, and then I transition off. So I like a rockered ride. I like saying that, rockered ride. I like a rockered ride, and I like it to be a smooth transition. When I hit, I like to roll through my stride, and I like to hit hard, and I like a bit of bounce. And all of those things are true of this shoe, which again, you cannot say is true for all shoes. So I think this is a really good geometry for those people who land around here. You've got this amazing spring pad. Reminds me of the Alpha Fly 1, actually, the way you land and it kind of springs you forward. But you've also got that rocker, so it's a spring and a roll, so it throws you forward. And for the first time today ever, I was engaging this, and this, which I thought was a gimmick, this plate that sticks out at the top, this tongue of a plate. I was actually engaging it. And the reason I was engaging it was because I was running at that super quick pace that enabled me to get 16:42. So this is not going to be a shoe, I think, you're going to get maximum out of it unless you're really running fast. Okay, that's not to say, and hear me out here, it's not to say that people who are slower than that can't get much out of the shoe. It's still a really, really good shoe. But those of you who want to get the full max out of this shoe, and I think this is where those efficiency studies, you know, the people that are used on those studies were actually really good athletes, right? When they're running fast in this shoe, they're engaging this plate, this tip of the plate here. And it is actually giving you that nice little bit of extra spring forward. And up until this parkrun, I hadn't experienced that. And then I was consciously experiencing it during this race, you know, on Saturday. I was feeling that extra spring. I was feeling the extra bend in the plate when I engaged this area over here. And that is because I've been running lots of races recently. My times have been getting quicker and quicker, and it always is this time of year when I start to hit my top form. I started engaging this upper end of this plate because I was running quick. So I feel like this shoe is a great all-round shoe, but for those of you who are running 5Ks in the 16, you know, maybe lower 17s, you're going to get a hell of a lot out of this shoe, extra than those of us that are in the sort of 1920s. So that was an interesting thing for me today. I'd not experienced that at all, but I did today, and that was one of the things that I think helped me get that PB. So that's the midsole. Really nice foam, really flexible, nice plate. That can't be underestimated actually. Why more super shoes don't have a more flexible plate? You see it's got cutouts in it to make it a little bit more bendy. I think they're far better that way than these really rigid plates that mean that when you land, your foot gets almost a bit of a shock because it can't bend the shoe. It can't engage the plate enough. With this shoe, you do engage the plate. So with the foam and the plate, I think all in all, and the geometry, I think this is a 5 out of 5 midsole. I can't really fault it. I think it's probably, for me anyway, up there with the Hoka PUMA midsole, the Cielo X1 2.0 is now my favourite midsole of any racing shoe. It's not as fun, it's not as bouncy as that shoe. So if you want to go out and have fun and have a wild ride, then the Hoka shoe beats this all ends up. But if you want to go out and get a PB and have an efficient ride, I think this is possibly the best shoe now. We've covered a lot there. Let's just cover some key areas and key categories. Yeah, so let's start with stability, key category that a lot of people take for granted, and you shouldn't. This shoe, I wouldn't say it's the worst in terms of stability, but it's not the best either. You don't really have any sidewalls anywhere. You've got a little bit of a a sole flare, but it's not massive. The heel itself isn't that wide, so if you land on the heel, it's quite narrow. If you're landing on the forefoot, you get a huge area to land on, so it'll feel a lot more stable if you're landing on here. For me, I didn't have many issues during the Battersea Parkrun. When I was at Encliffe Park, when I ran in this shoe, another parkrun, I had more issues, but that was a lot more technical, that parkrun. So I probably shouldn't have worn these shoes for that parkrun, to be honest. So all in all, what I would say is if you need stability features, it's not going to work for you. But if you don't, and you're landing somewhere up here, I think this is a more than adequate stable shoe. Durability, as I've mentioned, we've got some issues with the outsole here. We don't know yet, to be honest, but I suspect it's not going to be the most durable PUMA shoe that's ever lived. I think we're looking at something like 250, 300 miles in this shoe. I'm hoping anyway. That would be a decent return for a racing shoe, but I wouldn't expect it to be, you know, like the Prime X's of the world, which goes on and on and on. I think this at some point, you're going to wear through this outsole here and it's going to start affecting the foam. You may even have some plate damage because of how exposed it is. That's durability. In terms of pace, I think this is almost unrivaled. It's probably my quickest shoe now. Before I thought it was a Hoka shoe, but today, the quicker I ran, the more engaged this front part of the plate, the more it sprung me forward. You don't have that with the Hoka shoe. The Hoka shoe, you have a lovely bounce. It bounces you high and forward. This is less bouncy, so it's less vertical motion, but more forward motion. And this plate is the icing on the cake, this lip here, which just springs you that, gives you that extra bit of spring forward. So I think that's where the efficiency gains come from, but you have to be traveling at a very quick pace to engage that. So for me, this works now, particularly on those fast courses. So this is a shoe that I will pull out for those quick park runs, those quick 5Ks, and possibly not for those that require more technical running, turning tight corners, and those park runs or you know, races where there aren't those long straights that you can really power down, because that's where this excels. So that's pace. Price, as we know, it's £250, or is it 260? It's around that. It's expensive, should be 220. Not ideal, but you are getting a lot for your money with this shoe, and it's one of those rare shoes that I'm almost saying could be worth it for those people. If you're a 4-foot runner, striker, lander, whatever you want to call it, you can shift a bit, this might be worth the 250. In terms of generally what I think this shoe is good for, and another reason why it might be worth the price, it's good for everything. 5k, 10k, half marathon, I can already tell you it's good because I ran well in this shoe, all 3 distances. Marathon, I'm convinced this is a good marathon shoe. I think because it's slightly firmer, you're going to have to be somebody who's okay with that for the full marathon distance. I mean, I ran the Berlin Marathon in the Endorphin Elites, the originals, and that's about the same sort of density as this. So if you were used to that shoe and you were good in that shoe, you'll be fine in this shoe. I think it's an acceptable firmness, density for a marathon. It's not going to be the most comfy ride you'll ever have, but what I do think, because of that density and that firmness, towards the end of the marathon, you're going to have absolutely no bottoming out in this shoe, and it's going to keep you flowing. The foam is not going to degrade, and you're going to feel really good all the way, if not better, towards the end of those marathons, which is invaluable when it comes to marathon shoes. So overall, and how it felt on the race. So overall, would I recommend this shoe? Absolutely. I think if you're doing a lot of 5k races, 10k races, half marathons, possibly marathons, I think this is a shoe that will cater for all of those. I think for me, during that park run, I kind of experienced something I'd never experienced in a racing shoe before. I experienced not only the kind of amazing bounce and propulsion, but I experienced a real engagement of a plate like I had never done before, which really, I could feel the foam and plate working in tandem to spring me forward. And the more power I put down on the floor, the wider I made my stride, the quicker I increased my cadence, the more this shoe came to life. And that was the first I've experienced something like that ever in any race. So I'm now convinced by this shoe. Like the monkey said, if you're as old as me, I'm a believer, and I am a believer now. I wasn't, I am now. And all in all, absolutely magical, particularly for me over that 5k Battersea distance, which I think this shoe really excels at. In terms of Battersea itself, great park run, really fast, really flat, quite hectic, and because of that the start's a little bit crazy. It's not helped by what's the right word, well, let's just say a school teacher type race director who was shouting at people for walking on the grass, which apparently they could get their license revoked for, so I kind of understand it. But I think she was even shouting at people who weren't racing, right? They were just out for a stroll. And she also had a go at people talking on the start line and not looking at her, which again, they should be doing that, but these were like, young children. So I just feel there's a time and place for it, and everyone talks about park runs being this not races, but then to be that overly severe way, I think is probably not in the spirit either. Yes, make it clear that you shouldn't be on the grass, make it clear that parkrun could be taken away from Battersea, but do it in a nice way. And I felt it was way over the top the way she was announcing things. That's all I'll say. The rest of the marshals and everything were absolutely amazing. So it's just this one lady I think needs to just temper it a bit. By the way, she wasn't having a go at me, in case you're thinking that's why I'm saying this. It was some kids. Actually, there's lots of Herne Hill runners there. It's the red and black. I think that's Herne Hill. Put in the comments if I'm wrong. These red and black stripes, a bit like Dennis the Menace tops, those colours, if you remember that comic book. Again, showing my age. Lots of those kids very fast, super fast. I think there's one super fast kid in the top 10. I finished 13th in the end, which, considering there's like somewhere between 900 and 1,000 runners, I'm absolutely delighted with. As I said, PB, and it was a real successful day. I went with a few friends, as you will have seen in the video if you've watched it, which is always nice. I've been putting off going to Battersea for quite some time because of the big numbers, how un-parkrun like it must feel. Now that I've done it, I can firmly say it still feels like a parkrun, just a bigger parkrun. It is full of really quick runners, and that has an advantage in the sense that if you are chasing your times, you're always running with people who are quick, often quicker than you. So it gives you that little bit of extra motivation to try and stay with someone or catch someone to give you those extra seconds on your PB. So I would highly recommend it. If anyone chasing a PB, it's a really good parkrun to do that in, because obviously you don't have to pay like a normal race, and it has those race day vibes because of how many good runners there are there, but it still has that nice touch. Apart from one marshal, the rest of them are absolutely lovely. Brooks had a stand there, and people were actually testing out some of their trainers while they were there, some of their super racing shoes. So that'll be interesting to see. Brooks have really kind of started to nail it in terms of their super shoes going forward. I've never bought one actually. So if anyone's used a Brooks racing shoe, a recent one, and you think I should get one to review, put it in the comments, because I should really, if I'm a serious shoe tuber, I should really have had a Brooks shoe by now. So that's kind of everything I want to say. Battersea Park, big thumbs up. Area's lovely, as you see on the video. It's a beautiful park. The area, the redevelopment of the power station and all the infrastructure that's gone with that means that it's a very vibrant, lively area. It gives you that younger vibe feeling, which actually helps old timers like me feel alive again. And all in all, it's close to my work, so I go there a lot, but this is the first time I've actually done a parkrun there, and it won't be the last. And this will not be the last time I use this shoe, because again, as the monkeys say, and I saw this shoe, and I'm a believer. Sorry about that, really sorry about that. I'll end it now, bye-bye. Bear Grylls. It's a bit younger than us, mate. Actually, there's not much going on there today.
But these were built at the same time. Nearly perfection. How straight that is. You can't build a house that straight, so these were built.
How do you know, Alex? How do you know this?
The tape was because when they measured it, it was nearly perfection. Really done by hand.
Would you say this architecture's brutalist, Alex?
No, this wasn't.
No. But is the tape brutalist? No.